I recognize that companies are made up of people, not just one person. And if you have poor leadership at a company, there's no saving it. I don't care how passionate the sailors are on a ship. If the captain steers them into a cliff, everyone goes down with the ship. And I hate to see that, but it's happening. And that company is Lyte Gaming PCs. I was telling people, forget Newegg. They are doing anti-consumer practices through their shuffle and taking advantage of people. And you were doing worse, because at least when you bought something on Newegg, you got that product. Does that look like a nearly $2,000 PC to you? It doesn't look like that to me. 512.64 that you could keep and get the customer to send back the scrap. Did you pay everyone back for the money your training before taught your people to steal? I don't care if now they're doing the minimum. There's nothing in here that says we went back over our records and we paid out all the restocking fees that we charged people. We are remorseful in a genuine way and are not just trying to sweep it under the rug. When it was a hard industry, you scammed and lied to people and you made money hand over fist. You sold parts to people that you didn't have and gave them the parts you did that costed less and kept more money. This was the nail in the coffin. Hello everyone, I am Braethorn. Welcome to this 99th episode of SI Weekly. 99. Can you believe it? We gotta do something for episode 100. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Suggestions down in the comments, please. This is kind of a special episode, number notwithstanding, because this is kind of a callback to an episode that was over a year ago. That is the most watched video on the channel. And it's a video where I pointed out a few system integrators, some things to avoid, and some system integrators that were doing stuff that was no good. And the lion's share of that episode went to Lyte Gaming PCs. Well, it was announced on the 1st of November that Funware is going to be, that is the parent company of Lyte Gaming PCs, is going to be winding down that branch of their business. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Some you might not expect. But those thoughts will have to wait, because first I need to let you know this video is sponsored by VIP CDK Deals. The best place to go when you want to get yourself an OEM Windows license to get rid of that annoying watermark and unlock all the customization Windows has to offer. So instead of paying well over $100 for a retail version of Windows, you can get an OEM key for a fraction of the price. Plus, you can use my code BRAE25 to get a nice fat discount off of the already discounted price. Keep in mind that this is an OEM key that gets attached to this system and cannot be used with another one or if you change your hardware. Make sure you get the right key for your operating system. For more information on how to use CDK Deals, click the link in the description saying here's how it works, and I'll walk you through the whole thing. Thank you, CDK Deals, for continuing to support the channel. Now, the standard disclaimers don't really apply as much when it's more of a talking head piece like this, where we're talking about a topic rather than looking at PCs like we normally do. Normal disclaimers go like, hey, this video is being filmed for the week of Monday, November 6th, 2023. Pricing and availability that you see here may change, yada, yada, yada. And then, but the important one here is the second one, where I say, you're gonna hear opinions. And boy, oh boy, do I have some opinions on this topic. You may disagree, and that is totally fine. I do have a lot backing up my opinions on this one. Oh boy, I got receipts upon receipts, and I shared a lot of those, as you can see here. I mean, take a look at that, 258,000 views. It remains one of my most viewed videos consistently, as in these are the top 10 videos in the last 28 days. So yeah, my opinions on this are very well known, and the receipts that I have are out there and shared. I had some more, but I shared what I needed to get the point across for the video. I didn't want it to be longer than it already was, and it was very long. The last disclaimer is that this is not financial advice. Some of these disclaimers were actually formed from some of the fallout from me making one or two videos where I mentioned Lyte Gaming PCs, believe it or not. It was that bad that I even spoke of them And some people were like, well, I guess they're probably okay. And then they went and bought one and had awful experiences. And I was like, I just talked about them. I didn't do a review. I didn't say you should buy this. I said, wow, that's a crazy price for that. My goal is to educate so you can make educated decisions. That's the goal. That's the idea. You should never let other people tell you, buy that. You should get the information you need so you can make a confident choice for yourself. So when it comes to my opinions, I put a lot of thought into them, and I hope that any dissenting opinions, you will have done the same. I want to get one thing out of the way immediately. Whatever thumbnail I make, whatever title this has, I feel zero joy at this. I feel zero satisfaction, Schadenfreude. I'm not happy about this. And what this is, let me show you. Funware, the parent company of Lyte Gaming PCs, announces the wind down of Lyte Technologies operations to reinforce core mission. Now, this is not an unusual thing for a parent company to do. Lyte was in Chicago. Funware bought them out, moved the whole operation down to Austin. I know that Funware is in Texas. So that was the plan back when I was first contacted by Caleb, who was head guy over at Lyte, the one you saw in all those aggravating commercials, the ads, that was just walking around throwing stuff in the trash and just kind of being a douchebag. But apparently, since Funware acquired Lyte Technology, they were burning about $2 million annually. I was actually getting fairly alarmed because I saw more and more Lyte sponsorships going out. I mean, they were taking Funware's money and burning it on sponsorships with content creators I respect. I actually reached out to one of them and warned them about Lyte and shared some of my experience, and they were like, I'm not gonna say who it was, because they continued to cover Lyte, and basically their manager was like, hey, that's kind of, man, we're sorry to hear that. You should have a meeting with Caleb and have a call with him and discuss it. So maybe you guys can work out your differences. And I'm like, it's not my differences. It's a bad company. He's going to just say, he's a fast talker. He's going to say whatever he has to say to get me to shut up, try to shove money into my pocket, and then spin me around to where I don't know what direction I'm walking. Like, there's no winning with that guy. He's a fast talker, and he thinks that fast talking and lots of money is all he needs. He was even advertising on Short Circuit or LTT. That's expensive. That's a lot of money. Funware, you flushed your money down the toilet because they were spending a lot of money on that. It was not doing well. And honestly, a lot of SIs are feeling that because the market is in a downturn. We're in a recession and people are spending less on luxuries like gaming PCs. So they go with this positive spin stuff about what they are actually about, enterprise cloud platform, yada, yada. I do remember seeing, and someone said, and I think it was actually Caleb who was like, they don't do crypto. It was part of their website. And I show that in the video. Announced the wind down of operations of its subsidiary gaming PC manufacturer, Lyte Technology, commencing immediately as part of its recent corporate announcement. So if we go here, you actually go to the Funware website and you'll see the update here. Senior management change, expanded corporate vision. The choice to wind down Lyte operations follows an assessment of that business in the context of Funware's future direction, says CEO Mike Snavely. Wow, that sounds like a cartoon villain. The transition is both a good financial decision in that it eliminates inventory carrying costs and operational staff expenses, reducing our cash burn by about $2 million annually. We thank Caleb Borgstrom and the Lyte Technologies team for their work over the past couple of years. Bye-bye. It's not like the video needs views. I think that if you have not seen the Lyte Gaming PCs video, you should just watch it to get more context as to why I was like, do not buy from these guys, even though they were doing better. And that's all they would talk about, was how they were doing things better. And it's all in that video. And it's a train wreck. It is a train wreck, my communication with them. Also, how they were using my footage and likeness in general for their social media posts, for their on the main page of the front page of their website. Yeah, taking my quotes out of context. I'm not happy about this. To give you an idea why, I actually had a former employee of Lyte Technologies reach out to me, or I was put in contact with them. And I never shared the information that they shared with me at their request. They feared retaliation because of the particular information they were privy to, that they would be obvious who had shared it with me. And I don't recall if there was an NDA mentioned, but they just were in fear of retaliation. So I didn't share that. But it was made very clear to me. Caleb Borgstrom ran an operation there that was not effective, that was not a good working environment, that often led to many of the issues that he then shrugged off and attempted to brush under the rug once things started to get a bit better, because it got better for everyone when the shortages were over. And you can't take credit for that. It got better for everybody in the industry. There's a whole team of employees there that have gone from working in a terrible work environment for a terrible boss to now being unemployed. And Lyte, I speak with other SIs, and I just will put my feelers out and see. They don't have a good reputation. He does not have a good reputation among his contemporaries in the field. So it may not be the shiniest thing to put on your resume that you worked for a company like that for 2-3 years. I do want to say to those, if you guys are in Austin, for former employees of Lyte, first off, feel free to reach out to me. My email is in the About section of this of my channel here. Feel free to reach out to me and just, let me know about your experiences there. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. I just if you want to sort of vent to someone who actually already knows most of the things anyway, you can confidentially, not a problem. But the other thing is, there are other system integrators in the Austin, Texas area. You have Starforge Systems, you have Ironside. There's plenty of tech companies there. Just because you work for a terrible company does not mean you are a terrible employee. So there may be opportunities for you at some of those other system integrators there, and just, reach out. So this is also a call out to Ironside and Starforge Systems. There's probably some accomplished builders out there who need a hand, or people who handled the minutia, the paperwork, the accounting, things like that, in a business just like yours. So, though yours probably is run a lot better by someone much more competent than the one who is running this show. Let me show you a couple examples of some of the comments that I had gotten from Lyte customers. Okay, just really quick stuff. My experience with them was the worst. I don't think you can get worse than my experience. Waited 6 months. 6 months. Tells me motherboard and CPU are not compatible. Also cannot get me my GPU. Wants to downgrade the GPU at no cost. Downgrade at no cost. And upgrade me to an older model CPU. I said, what the hell, 6 months, and now you tell me and try to scam me into downgrades. I want a refund. Okay. They haven't built this thing. They haven't sent it out. This person want a refund. So they say no, contact the office. Next week or so, I get a PC shipped to me because this person said refund, they get a PC. Cardboard box is awesome. PC is not. Order a PC with the name brand parts to look nice. Received a case, but not a full ATX case. A mid case of same one. I expected a huge, because they got a mid tower case on the smaller side. So it looks like they got a mini ITX or micro ATX motherboard. They got Zotac RAM instead of Corsair. They're supposed to get this Gigabyte, it probably was an NVIDIA GPU. So yeah, maybe they meant a Founders Edition. They got a T-Force M.2 drive, which is a well-known brand, but still. They're supposed to get a Corsair power supply. They got a Brown Kratos power supply, which is a Gamdias power supply. I'm still not happy with what they offered me, so I requested a refund. Now, this person requested a refund, was told no, and shipped a PC, right? So when they're offered something to replace those parts, they say, no, I want the refund I requested. And they say, well, there's a restocking fee now. Whoa, gotcha. Yeah, it's a nice gotcha, isn't it? You say you want a refund. They're like, no, call the office. Bam, they send you a PC with just whatever parts they can get their hands on. And now they're like, oh, well, we can replace those for you. Okay, well, no, I want a refund, like I said. Well, there's a restocking fee because you got a PC. If you think this is the only example like this I was presented with, oh, sweet summer child. No, there were so many. When was all this stuff happening? Primarily during the shortages. What Lyte was doing, they were taking people's money, because there were a lot of SIs out there who were like, hey, you're going to have either lead times of 4 to 6 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever. Primary reason for starting the show was so I could sift through that and help people find GPUs through pre-builds. But Lyte wouldn't tell you that. They would just take your money. They took people's money, put them on a waiting list, and then shove them aside. Just, you don't need to know. We have your money. You'll get a PC when we feel like it. If you go back, they were on their own like Instagram, they have a video of like what it's like behind the scenes, and you see Caleb like hustling to try and get 2060s, and we're like 6 months into the drop of like 30 series GPUs and everything. 2060s were still fine, but he is like hustling to get these, hustling to get them. So what was happening was a bait and switch, classic bait and switch. Okay, you put really attractive prices with attractive specs on your website, and people are like, well, I'm going to buy that. And then, well, there's going to be a waiting list. Well, that's everywhere. Sure, whatever. But they have no idea how bad it is. And then if they cry refund, smash something together, send it out, charge them a restocking fee if they want to return it. This person, I was just reading off their story, lost $350 of their refund. So Lyte did all that and then kept $350, and that they got off easy. You know how I know? Because there's other people who got a PC that would not work, but because they had to wait 6 months, they were past the 30-day return period. Oops. They were literally told that. I've seen emails like this. I've had a few of their previous customers share email chains with me where they are being grifted, just absolutely manipulated and lied to. So what happened when I approached Caleb about this? Because to be clear, up until I started seeing these stories, I had intended to work with them just like any other SI, except for one blip. It all started with Caleb reaching out to me and saying, hey, we'd like to sponsor an episode. We want you to talk about how great we are, and we want to give you money to do that on your show. I don't do that. I do not accept sponsorship from system integrators for system integrators weekly coverage. The closest I ever came to that was when I did a project with Skytech. You might remember the giveaway PC. And it was labeled as a special episode. And you know what we didn't talk about one bit in that entire video? Their pre-builds. We didn't talk about their pre-builds. We talked about this project, the project we were doing. And it was labeled as a special episode. It's not counted in that 99 episodes I told you about. Not at all. And aside from that, I've never had any kind of hint of sponsor. Why do you think I have the same sponsor every video? Because most other companies don't really, I'm not on their radar for sponsorship, and I don't want conflicts of interest with the SIs. So there's only ever been 2 companies that made that proposal to me, which you better believe, after all the stuff that happened with Lyte, the second company that came along and did that, that was immediate red flag, because most SIs don't do that. They don't approach me saying, we want to pay for coverage on your show about our type of company. No, the other company was Apex Gaming PCs. And that was red flags for me right away, but I was like, you know what, maybe it's fine. No one could be as bad as Lyte. And they're not, but they're pretty bad. And I've heard some similar reporting on people waiting 8-9 weeks for a PC, and not during the shortages. Watch that video right here. There's a similar bait and switch, but with the shipping, and they did fix the language on those pictures, but this is still not very good deals on that site. I haven't checked it in a while, but I did check it a couple weeks ago. Anyway, whatever. I'm getting off topic here. So what happened here was happening during the shortages. And it's at times, tough times like that are when you see what a company's really like. I mean, if you look at, say, for example, Alexander PCs, they had just started up around that time. When they didn't have hardware, they would not take your money. If they could not get the GPUs, if it wasn't sitting on the shelf, you could not pay them money for that system. Amazing to me. I was like, oh, but like this company Lyte over here is just taking everybody's money and just taking them for a ride. If you make mistakes and you have customer service issues, as long as you communicate with the customer and you fix those problems, stuff happens. I know, stuff happens. However, every time I brought this up to Caleb, all he would say was, hey, if they contact us, we'll take care of them. If they contact us, we'll take care of them. Because all he wanted to talk about was how much better things were. Oh, well, now we are shipping out and we have like a 4 to 5 day turnaround time. So does everybody, man. This is when there were surplus GPUs and prices had plummeted. You may recall that time. It was good for everybody. He was taking credit for the state of the industry, like the cheek, as if I would just be like, oh my gosh, really? Forget everything else he ever did then. And the problem with him just responding with how great things are now and that previous customers can contact him, there's no way I could reach all of their customers. I don't know. So all he's saying is like, well, if they're ratting me out, I'll take care of them. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Everyone else gets screwed. There were people who ordered PCs, never had them built or shipped, canceled their order, and had to pay a restocking fee for something that was never unstocked. Reportedly, this was people reporting this to me. So with his response being like, they can reach out to me, or you just send anyone who reports to you, just send them. No, my message to them was, you have your customer service records. You need to handle these. Once you've done that, we can talk. I want accountability. You need to be able to prove that you did that stuff. Nothing. Not a word. Not a peep. My message was out. I wasn't taking my video down. And if you go to that video, there's a comment from Lyte, and guess what they say? Well, things are great now, and we're doing much better now. And when we screw up your PC, we'll send you another one immediately, and you can send that one back, and then, not until you get yours, and it works. What freaking planet do you live on, man? It's not okay to just leave a trail of people who you robbed of their money, gave many of them non-working PCs or not the PC that they meant to that they purchased, and then just pretend none of that happened. They needed to refund restocking fees for parts that were never shipped out, especially when you have someone here, they muddied the waters on this. This person said, I want a refund, and they were told no. And instead they were sent a PC. You can't do that. Honestly, this should have happened long ago. And now, what warranty they did have is gone. So no, I'm not happy about this. I'm not. It was bad from start to finish. This company was being run by a person who should never have stepped into this industry. They did not belong there. Honestly, I haven't had much reporting on Lyte since then, other than some people saying like, yeah, they're still not that great. Okay. I was just never going to recommend them as long as they still had a trail of people whose money they had taken who did not have working PCs or did not get the PC that they paid for. Because I got reports of people who were like, I bought 3 PCs from them, none of them work, and I can't get my money back. This is proof positive that the system integrator industry is not for everybody. It's just the problem is this particular individual, and yeah, I don't really mean to lay all of this at one person's feet, but I hear stuff. I hear a lot of things that I won't pass along. But this person did not treat other people in the industry very well, thought very highly of themselves, and clearly for no good reason, because they had zero reason to think highly of themselves in this industry. My thoughts right now are with the employees of Lyte Technology. And I wish them the best of luck with finding something else, finding something more rewarding than working for someone who might, say, let's go with a bit of hyperbole, have been a cyst on the otherwise productive and positive system integrator industry. I don't know. Maybe he can go hang out with Noah or whatever his name is, because I hear that Noah Katz changed his name. Yeah, they'd make great buddy. I mean, although Caleb was, I think, a little too savvy to publicly show his true colors. Yeah, so my thoughts go out to the employees of Lyte Technologies. And if you're in dire straits and you maybe need to reach out to a contact or something, you want to stay in the same industry, I understand. I understand if maybe your experience at Lyte has maybe soured you to working for an SI. There's a couple really good ones in the Austin area, and if that's where you're at, please let me know. And my email is open. It is in the About tab of this channel. And if there's anything I can do to help, I will. This was not my favorite episode here. I just needed to cover this. I needed to say my piece. And if you want the full story, go check out that video. But we have some actual good, positive coverage coming up in the next couple episodes leading up to Black Friday and all that. I'm not a big fan of Black Friday, but you can get some pretty good deals. But you can also find some pretty bad deals that look like good deals. So get subscribed so that I can help you out with that. And you better believe that we're going to have some PC Assist streams coming back prior to Black Friday so that a few of you guys can get in and I can maybe make some recommendations. And I'm hoping to multi-stream those so that PC Assistant streams will be on Twitch and YouTube. It doesn't help my numbers on either site very much, but if you prefer YouTube, then there you go. I know that's where I'm doing for this episode, but this was pretty significant in the history of System Integrators Weekly, so I figured I would share that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Stay tuned for actual positive, good system integrator coverage coming up next week and the week after and continuously on ad infinitum. But until then, take care.